Despite Hagel's reassurances, 4 House members plan to introduce a resolution condemning President Obama's prisoner swap. For Bo Bergdahl, I'm joined now by one of the resolution's co-sponsors, Republican Representative Scott Rigell from Virginia. Congressman, good morning to you, sir.
Morning, Chuck.
Why do you believe this resolution is necessary?
Chuck, this was really, I think, an egregious abuse by the President and indeed the Secretary of Defense. The National Defense Authorization Act is very clear that they were required to give 30 days notice. It's a serious matter. The things that are listed in there that they have to provide to us to provide proper and legitimate oversight are important. The President and the Secretary made no attempt whatsoever to comply with that. It was a complete repudiation, I think, of Congress, and so we have a bipartisan group that is determined to stop the precedent that the President is advancing of more executive overreach.
Let me ask you this. Do you think the United States needed to do what was necessary to secure the release of Sergeant Bergdahl?
Well, Chuck, the return of an American service member is always a good thing, and the circumstances under which he became a captive of the Taliban is being investigated by the U.S. Army, and I have high confidence in General Odierno. But if we look at what we gave up, Mohammed Fazl, look, he was the chief of staff of the Taliban Army, and it's widely understood that he's highly likely to return to re-engaging U.S. forces. That's why this oversight was needed, and frankly, I think the fact that they knew back in 2011, members of Congress, senior members of both the House and the Senate, on the intelligence and the defense side, made it clear that we wouldn't approve something like that.
Let me ask you this. What do you think needs to happen to these if these Taliban members had been kept at Gitmo? At what point, how long does the U.S. keep them captive if they're not going to charge them with anything?
Well, I think they should be charged under a military tribunal. I'm for advancing that. But any person who is going to be a continued threat to the United States, we have, in my view, the legal basis to hold them. I mean, that's what we do. The principal role of the federal government is to protect the American people. So there could be and should indeed, because yes, indeed, because if the specific legal documents under which we are engaging right now in Afghanistan, if that comes to a close, there are other legal foundations upon which we can continue to hold someone who is a direct threat to the United States. That is not it's not a controversial issue in my mind of protecting the American people.
Congressman, I got to ask you about a little home state politics. What lesson did you learn from Eric Cantor's loss?
Well, Eric's a dear friend, and I appreciate his leadership. I think he really was instrumental in not only my election but others in helping us take control of the House of Representatives. And I'm so sorry to see that he won't be our majority leader. I'm going to let the folks in Virginia 7 and the political pundits kind of unpack that. But he's got a good future, and I'm grateful for his leadership. Well,
but you must take your own lesson away from it.
Well,
you're going to be on the ballot in November, sir.
Absolutely. I know this. I just love and appreciate our district. We have the highest concentration of men and women in uniform in the country. In fact, I've heard clear opposition to what the administration's done with respect to the release of the 5 Gitmo detainees there. And that's one reason I advanced it. But I think just stay close to the district, listen, and again, I'll just have to let those political pundits figure it out.
Well, it sounded like very familiar lines that I heard from Eric Cantor yesterday as well. Anyway, Scott Rigell, Republican from Virginia's 2nd District down there. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Trivia time.